Hi, this is Praios and I'm a professional gambler. And today we unfortunately have to turn out the overlay. This is because otherwise we would cover some of the whole cards, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, subscribe, all these good things. If you watch it on YouTube, if you watch on Twitch, please follow me. And yeah, if you want to become as good as the guys in the game, you definitely get a tracking software to analyze your game and also have stats in game which help you a lot, stuff that you could not keep track of in your head. And yeah, the two leading poker softwares are Holdem Manager and Pokertracker for this. And yeah, if you want to train off the tables as well, I recommend PLO Trainer first and foremost. And I also like another program, and this is PLO Vision. And yeah, if you consider to get one of these programs, feel free to use my referral links. And yeah, without further ado, let's now get into the action. 10K PLO wars on PokerStars. And yeah, before we can start, I have to do one more thing. Give credit to BCP Poker Replays because this video is from him. Yeah, he recorded these sessions. And yeah, we will now look into the hands and we'll also analyze all these spots if they are interesting. So let's go. Raise and a call, check on the flop. And yeah. Flop, check, looks standard. Turn. Can't see his name right now because it says bad, but yeah, he picked up a very good hand. Has a strong draw, although it's not that nutted, but yeah, with top pair as well. Makes sense after getting checked twice to make a bet. He will get called. Oh, well, that's free ray. I didn't saw that beforehand. Free ray, he could also check because yeah, his draw sucks, and yeah, I mean it's okay either way. So checking and betting both fine, and all guys call, so this can get interesting. Turn. River is not an action card, and normally I would expect to get this checked through. Yeah, and it does, and top pair wins. Standard open from EE27. And is this 3-bet standard? That's a good question. I would say probably yes, but we will find out. Keep in mind that this is without antes, so the results could change a bit. But yeah, we have nothing better than that, so we have to check it with sims without antes. And let's see what 7, 8, 6 king is supposed to do. I think it's a re-raise is GTO approved. Yes, it is, but it has a small EV, as you can see. Moving on. Ooh. Is this 4-bet also GTO approved is the interesting question. I think probably not, to be honest. Let's see. This dangler I don't like in this hand, but I might be wrong. It's definitely not a big mistake either way, whatever you do. So this is a call, as I said. And how big is a mistake if you 3-bet? I think it's actually not that big, but let's find out. Oh, it's actually a mistake of about 1.5 BB. So just call. As I said, the dangler makes our hand a lot worse. So that's why we just want to call. Yeah, gragik, standard call. Ooh. Gragik picks up the nuts. And he also hits his dangler, so the money will go in. Ooh, first one, some help for EE. So I will split the pot. Up to the next hand. So raise and a re-raise. I think this is probably GTO approved. Let's see the flop. Yeah. Oh, not that good of a flop for the queens, but given how much money is already in, and he's this is actually a tough one. Let's ignore the other player who was also in there, and let's make it blind battle, because otherwise we have no sims. Board is 10-9-4 rainbow. Let me find this. 10-9. We only have 10-9 deuce, but good enough. And let's see if queen queen ace 5 is supposed to get it in. Still loading. Have to be patient. Okay, here it is. So ace, queen, queen 5 with spades, and let's say hearts, because this is not interacting with the board. Though it's not. So he should check. How bad is it to bet? You see that betting, almost everything has the same EV, so it should be fine. Yeah, and once he bets, he obviously is committed. And yeah, this one also can't get out. Pair and an open ender. And who can take it? Takes it. Yeah, standard defense. Not sure what the small blind has. And I think this hand would do quite well. Checking, because yeah, it's 3-way. His hand isn't too good. He does not want to get 3-bet. Ace high flush draws are likely, so I would check back the kings in this spot. Getting also probably fine. Yeah, no! The fun begins. I think, oh, we might actually have a 3-way spot for this. Let me do it here on screen so that you can see what I'm doing. Click a few times back. Let's see if we have a 3-way spot for this. Nope. So we have to find a quick workaround, and we do it this way. And the board is... good question what the board is. 10-7 deuce. He is supposed to call 10-7. Let's take this one instead. I mean, although all this is not comparable at all, to be honest, but let's see what King 9-3 is doing here, although the situation is completely different. I think this is a clear check back. Although what suits, we need to change the suits to spades and diamonds. Yeah, in this case he should bet. But checking is not that much worse. And yeah, three-way, it should go in the direction of checking. Anyways, he now got raised, so this is somewhat comparable. So he bets, he gets raised. Download the sim. King 9-3 is the hand. Probably a very hard question to answer. I say probably calling, I guess. Yeah, it's calling 100%. And yeah, holding is worse, getting it in also way worse. So yeah, let's see. I think he probably will call. Ooh, yeah. Now he probably... Just calling does not make too much sense because it will be very hard to get away on almost every river card. And yeah, I mean, he has a gut shot, he has an overpair. The reps didn't got there, although it's unlikely that his opponent is raising with a rep. Against the ace high flush draw, we could be ahead. Only one card to come. Yeah, I think he has to stick it in now. And he could have kept this pot small if he followed my advice, checking the flop. Yeah. No, he still has 25% with his kings, and he loses both, I think. Yep. Then it open. Aces is always at open. I think the call probably is standard from the small blind. Rebet we can't judge as we don't see his whole cards. Yeah, aces standard 4-bet. Oh, that actually... I think he... Oh, what the... This is a tough one. That's a very tough one. Not sure if this sim will work out. Because, yeah, we probably don't have enough iterations to judge. Double... Oh, this is very, very close. You definitely don't make a big mistake. Oh, why is he not having this hand? Fold is the play, which he probably will not pursue. Yeah. Yeah. And how bad is it to call? It's more than 2 BBs worse. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, it is... I mean, having to call a raise and a raise cold, yeah, I don't like my hand anymore because people often have high card hands and then we are often dominated because these high card hands usually include an ace or ace. Okay, aces don't dominate us that hard, but something like king ace is also very bad for us. And yeah, we have almost nothing invested yet, so yeah, folding has to be the play. But he will call for sure. And yeah, he will be committed on almost every flop. And yeah, now he has to get the rest in. But he probably does not love it. Aces picked up the gut shot and the flush draw as well, so uwintakeit could have avoided all that and could have saved 10k or something by folding. I mean, he would have lost 350 instead of 10k. I mean, you're losing 10k yet, but his EV will be very bad. Yeah, 27% only. Loses the first. And wins the second, so he got lucky. So if you are result oriented, he saved 350 bucks. But yeah, that's not how you should think when you play poker. Standard sofa preflop. I love the bet. He's blocking the nuts. He also blocks the flush draw a bit. So yeah, this is standard bet. He has to call now. Yeah, he gut shot and nut flush draw and overpair. Very good hand. He could also consider to re-raise actually. I mean, he's doing very well against most things. And his hand is very difficult to play. I think GTO solution is probably to call, but yeah, I think raising can't be that bad either. But let's find out. Okay, call, fold. Fold. Okay, we got sims for that, and the board is Jack, 10-8. Let's hope that we got that one on. Jack, 10-8. Where it is? Why is it only monochrome? Ugh, come on. Jack. Let's only look at straight boards. Jack, 10-8. Looks like we have to Jack 10-9. Seems to be the play here. Yeah. Some reason we have to change the board up a little because we have no sims for the other one. And I think the bet should be quite standard. Let's now see what ace with the flush draw is supposed to do. Ace, queen 4. Ace, queen 4. With hearts. Hearts, spade, club. Though it's not hearts in this case, it's diamonds. So yeah, that should be about right. Yeah, you can see it's close. Most of the time you should call, but raising also is doing well in terms of EV. Now he leads. Do I like it or don't I like it? It's definitely quite straightforward play. You actually can solve this with the help of the solver. I think the pot bet, the flop bet was also way bigger than the solver thinks it should be. But yeah, let's see if the solver wants to donk. The only bet size, by the way, the solver has is 1/3 pot. So this is not the preferred size. Although I kind of like it. I mean, this is not a GTO, but you should bet 1/3 all the time. It's just that a human set this bet sizing as the only option because the game tree would get too big otherwise. So let's see if ace 4, queen, got one card. Hearts, spades, club. That's again wrong. We have to change this to diamonds. Yeah, seems like the solver prefers to check, but yeah, betting also not a mistake. It's a bit undecided. Yeah, I actually close. I actually like it, especially in case your opponent also has ace queen, you often will be able to get it in. And the added benefit is that you have a redraw and you will be getting it in very good and taking away some money from him. And that's probably what will happen now. No, he just calls. Okay, that's actually sick. Yeah, now I see the race coming. Yeah, and easy call. That's actually quite smart to just call with ace queen queen. Because in case your opponent is bluffing, you can keep him. He will probably keep bluffing. And you can bluff your opponent off a split if a scare card river comes. So I really like the call of you win, take it. Ooh, yeah, limping now. I wonder if you win, take it is a spot in the game. I'm pretty sure that Fresh, OO, EE, and gragik are Rex. Not sure about the other two. So we see a bet now from the non-nut rep, and I'm pretty sure the top two will not fold. Will they raise though? Raising seems a bit ambitious, so you probably will call and see river. And now he has 3 pair, but it's not a cool card because a few of the straights came in. Ooh, but yeah, I guess you can't fold because yeah, the bottom rep type of hands could be betting, and if his opponent, yeah, I mean, you have to call, I think. Yeah, and his opponent also is very polarized, given the bet size. He could also have something like Jack turning in a bluff, or a hand like he has. Yeah, not folding, but I would hate the spot. Yeah, nice hand. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at it. Need to open my stream off on the other window in order to make sure that I don't miss any chat messages. Probably raised port with a bet and a call on the flop. Yeah, seems reasonable. Now both guys made nuts. I mean, 5-6 with the redraw definitely is very lucky. And with 2 redraws to the full house and also the flush, definitely wants to get in the money. Question is if the bear 5-6 should raise. Probably not. And he agrees and just calls. And yeah, the check raise is inevitable, and the call as well, or the all-in. This raise probably on the bottom end of possible raises. Ooh, this 3-bet or squeeze. Again with a dangler. Not sure if it's correct or not. Let's find out. So fold, raise, fold. Who called? Now let's just say that this guy called. And we got ace, jack, queen 6, double suited. It's definitely a close one. And looks like the solver slightly prefers the call. Although, I mean, it's a very close one. The call looks a bit better, as I said. So everybody stays in the pot. Yeah, seems like you guys caught something. Yeah, once check 2. I can't blame him for getting it in with only 1.5 times the pot left. And yeah, not even sure if gragik, if this is a trap or not. He could also have bet from the beginning. He could also just bet gragik, and he might even get 10 jack jack 9 to fold. Because a lot of stuff crushes this hand, like his. First one to gragik. Second one to gragik as well, right? Yeah. It's not gragik, it's gragik. Sorry for butchering the name. And we see this. This might not be a defend. So let's see if this is a defend. I think probably not. This hand sucks. Raise, fold, download. Queen, 10, 8. Oh, it is a defend. But yeah, it's close. You're not wasting a lot when folding. Ooh, what a flop. I can see myself folding still. Because, yeah, a lot of your opponent's range is aces, against which you are drawing that, basically. Okay, let's see. Ace, 10, 8, rainbow. Don't have this board, so we have to use ace, 10, 7 instead. And the bet size also, this does not match the one of the solver. So let's just make it pot instead. And see what... We have to change our hand to queen, 10, 7 is supposed to do. Queen, 10, 7. I'd say fold. Queen, 10, 7 is supposed to... it's a mix. What's going on? Why is this not happening? Ah, I think he needs 10, 8 in order... Ugh, that's annoying. So, okay. I see the problem. So when we have no backdoors, we want to fold. Otherwise, we want to continue. We have no backdoors, so we want to fold. gragik disagrees. And he will disagree again, I guess. I don't like it. And he probably also don't like it once he sees his opponent's cards. But he actually gets lucky and wins half the pot. That's very undeserved. That's a standard 3-bet. And we see a flop. And yeah, gragik, if these hands happen one after another, might be on tilt. But yeah, this is a standard call. And this is tough. This is a very tough one. He has no room to improve. He faces a relative big bet. Was this a 3-bet pot or just a raised pot? Has to be a re-raised pot. So I hope that this Sims will be available. Let's find out. And the board is 9 king 5. King 9 5. Got this one. And let's say that this was a small big, so check, bet, call. Yeah, big. Let's try the pot size bet. Yeah, we have no turn sims, but I think, oh, that's so tough. I mean, you could consider calling once more. But that's a very tough one. Unfortunately, we don't have PLO Vision because this would probably have the turn sim for that. And yeah, I'm a bit lost, I have to say. But I mean, 7-8, you are dead. You're dead against a lot of things. I mean, you also have a 7, so it's unlikely that your opponent has 7-8. He has to have something. I mean, not necessarily, but that's very, very tough. Yeah. I can't blame him for calling, but folding also seems fine. But he calls one more. Yeah, and river is check. Run. Gragik probably now thinks, but he has a decent chance to win. But yeah, he will get the bad news in a second. Raise and a re-raise looks standard so far to me. And yeah, the 10s will probably call flop. And might call down. Yeah, I think it's probably going to call down. But yeah, these spots are insanely tough. But he's blocking the straights a bit. And he has a set, so, and almost nothing left, so he has to go for the check call again. Gragik checks as well. And does not have him beat. LINUSLLove in the game. He's more known for his no limit hold'em skills. But I saw some hands where he played pot limit Omaha, and he is very decent in that game as well. And he will probably come for a 3-bet in this hand. This is most likely a mistake. I think what you want to do with such weak kings is probably just call. But I might be wrong. Let's see what you are supposed to do with the kings he has. He's just calling, and his mistake is a little bit more over 1BB. Feels very good, but I am still doing very well in these hands, although I did not play PLO for a long time. But I do this video, so this helps me to be good. Yeah, now after 4-betting, he's obviously committed, but he hates it. Gets it in very bad. 25% only. That's like the worst you can get in PLO pre-flop. And he wins the first. And he wins the second. Nice answer. Not that easy to win twice in a row with 25%. Open looks standard. 3-bet as well. I mean, I took this in advance, but he will 3-bet. And yeah, the calls. I mean, this could actually be a fold. No, I think it's probably not. And this looks like... Is this an action flop, though? I'm not sure. I'm also not sure what to do. Let's first find out if the defend of the 3-bet is okay or not. Ace, king, queen, 8. And it is okay, like I thought. Let's now come to the flop. It's 7-5 deuce, I think. Seven, 5. Ugh. What do we take instead? Let's take this one instead. What is LINUS's hand now? It's like... I think the rep also now will be better. That sucks. So what do we give him instead? How many outs he has in the original one? I think that's only 13. Correct me if I'm miscounting. So 13 outs. And what can we give him? It's equivalent to 13 outs. 8. Maybe it's 12. I think it's 12 outs. So let's give him like 8, 9. Okay, I'm talking complete bullshit. He has like infinite outs. So let's give him, because he has a 6. So he has a 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he has everything. So this is more outs than I thought initially. So with this big of a rep, I think it's a bet and a get it in. But it sucks if you run against a flush draw with this type of hand. But yeah, not much you can do. It would be more interesting to find out what to do with a hand like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So with less out. So let's give him this hand instead. With a backdoor flush draw. Yeah. Let's see what this hand is supposed to do. So this hand is supposed to check. But the bigger rep probably can bet. So let's give him instead of a jack, he has a 5 now, and then probably bets. Nope. He does not bet because he's not playing this hand pre-flop this way. So, yeah, but I think that's probably how it works, and we don't have a sim for this, so yeah. Like how most people play it. Yeah. The worst enemy of the rep is the flush draw. And I think LINUS bangs the first and loses the second, so we split the pot. Raise and a call. Bet and a call. This... I mean... This looks very ambitious. The flop bet already looks ambitious. And the turn bet with only having deuce and hearts looks even more ambitious. So don't like it too much. Wow. He's not wrapping that much. I mean, he was wrapping a flush on the turn, and now the board pairs, and he still says, hey guy, I have it. And yeah, Born to Tilt thinks that he does not have it, and he's right. The raise looks okay-ish. The call probably a bit loose, but let's see how this plays out. The continuation bet appears a bit loose. The call also quite loose, but he was getting great odds, so this is okay-ish. Yeah, now second deuce. Yeah. Second deuce. I think he should bet. But he is tricky trappy slow playing. And yeah, on the river he finally decides to get some value with his full house. And I think Fresh might be check raising as a bluff because he's blocking full houses by having a 7 and a jack, and this will probably not work out. Yep. But he chose a very good hand to do this move with. And yeah. This will be a 3-bet, I guess. And Ace is now very happy to 4-bet. Standard so far. And yeah, this is an easy call. And nine, yeah. Vector flush draw, top pair and a gut shot versus the overpair that also hit top pair, so it's less likely that your opponent has a good hand. Yeah, seems standard, and yeah, 10-9, Queen King also can't get away, so not that interesting of a hand. And I think they split. The open is definitely, if it's an open in the bottom, the opening ranges, but I think it's still okay-ish. The 3-bet though looks a bit silly. Let's first look at Queen 10 9 7. Queen 10 9 7 is a close open. And oops. Is Ace 10 8 6 a re-raise? What do you think? Make up your mind. I think it is not a re-raise. Ace 10 8 6 double suited. And I am wrong. It is a re-raise. Good flop for Ace 10 6, whatever. Also okayish flop for Born to Tilt. Should he raise or just call? I think just calling is the way to go. They are deep. Can bluff on scare cards. He does not necessarily want to get the money in yet, so calling is what I would do. He could also raise with the intention to push out aces later, but he can also do on scare cards, so I call. Let's see what he decides. He decides to raise right away. And yeah, gragik, easy game, 2 pair, backdoor flush draw. Definitely getting it in. Yeah, Born to Tilt. Now has no other option than to get it in. He often has the 33% needed. I mean, he does need a bit more, but not that much more. And yeah, actually the percentages are still very close. I think Born to Tilt. Oh no, I misread the thing. So a split. Close open. That's almost certain not a defend. Good check. Although, this is, yeah, a good check. I like it. Oh, just an open-ender. He wants to see the free card. But yeah, he's totally dominated. And yeah, now both people make the nuts. And now the things look way better for LINUS all of a sudden. He might get re-raised if he bets just a small size. I think he probably will, because his opponent also has a redraw to better straights. And I'm excited to see what the GTO master LLinusLLove will do now. If he's just calling or if he's getting all the money in. And he's getting all the money in. Okay. Ooh, unlucky, but now, yeah, Linus can't get away. Almost nothing left. And he still has the second nuts. And he gets the bad news. This open also looks debatable. So 3, 4, 6 queen. 3, 4, 6 queen. If it's an open, if it's a very close one. And it's not an open. Okay. Leading the flop with a huge hand. Would be unlucky to be dominated from like ace of flush draw, but it's reasonable to lead here, especially if his range is, I mean, none of them should hit this that hard, but for the 3-better, this is a very bad board. The 3-better will check back a ton, so leading makes sense. It's getting called, and he will probably bet again. They're also insanely deep. 3, 4. I mean, he has a bluff catcher, right? And it's check, check, and river 2 pair, good. His opponent probably had something like aces with the flush draw, something around about that. Something like that, I mean. Okay, next hand. Decent open, I guess. Then a 3-bet, and he gets called. And this... give me a second. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Oh, what is his best size? Full pot. So he is basically saying, let's get it in 4 times the pot left. I mean, his opponent is not that likely to have hit this one. So this makes sense. If gragik continues, which I think he will, he should just call in my eyes because he has no fold equity and he's probably not ahead. But he does not give a fuck and gets it in. I mean, it makes the hand easier to play, but I think it's not max EV. And gragik loses both. Ooh. 2 good hands. Will clash here. Guess a raise and a re-raise. I think this is also a 4-bet. The ace 10, jack 9. And yeah, I think that's GTO play. That's a tough one. Let's see. This is still GTO. What is ace king king 4 supposed to do? I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if it's a fold. It's a call. but not an all-in. But yeah, also all options are very close together. Ooh, lucky one. And both hit a bit off the flop. First one to LINUS as he makes a full house. And second, he makes a full house as well and wins both. Oh, aces versus aces. Probably a pre-flop all-in. So, not that interesting of a hand. What? What were the percentages which were just displayed? That seemed wrong. The Jack-Jack call probably is loosey-goosey. And he check on the flop. He made trips. He also has a flush draw. I mean, I wouldn't hate a check again, but yeah, betting is fine as well. Why is... I mean, Deuce, Jack, Jack, King wants to call. And on the river it might... I mean, this is... I mean, if you have tried to find bluffs in every single spot, then this probably is the hand, because you blocked the full house. And yeah, this might not work out. I mean, it's probably not working out. Yeah, he raises and he gets called. I mean, I find it very hard to find bluffs from his opponent there, but if you want to be balanced, you probably have to call. Although, I mean, he has a flush and it's trips. I mean, he blocks all the stuff. So it's also quite unlikely that your opponent has you beat. So yeah, I guess his call is okay-ish. Open looks loose, but probably fine. This 3-bet is, or better, let's say squeeze looks close as well. So this guy raised, fold call. Well, let's see if King Deuce 6 goes to play like this. King Deuce 6. It's another X. Yeah, it's like I thought. Just a call. And about 1 BB you lose if you 3-bet, but maybe he has a read that the other dude is opening way too loose, and this might make this more of 3-bet. But yeah, still, I think calling a hand like this is way better. Okay. This is a painful flop, but it's very unlikely that the small blinds range is hitting this one, unless he has a high flush draw or something. And the small blind shouldn't have it all that often as well. Unfortunately, you have no heart in your hand, but at least you block a deuce. So with that little left, this seems standard. And honestly, the 9 high flush draw probably could still fold. Because there's one more guy behind who could push in, and what the hell do you do when this happens? I mean, you definitely want to call. Even then, it's close if you want to call. Even getting this good of odds when nobody is behind. So yeah, I think he should fold. But he probably is not. And he's not. And this is the best situation you can ever be in, and he's still an underdog. But this doesn't matter if you just win. At least once. Oh, double suited aces. This defend looks questionable, but might be okay still. The good old blocker bluff. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And aces call down. I actually like it. Both flush draws missed. He's having a 6 blocker, so 5-6 is less likely. Yeah, like it. This open of 9-9-6-10 is too loose. The 3 bets seems fine. Yeah. Looks like getting some money in. Although this could also be check on the flop. Because, I mean, yeah, I mean, we might also just get it in on the flop. Dongs. That's quite interesting line. I would not do this with his hand. Probably. And EEE27. I mean, he's not supposed to have hit this very often. I mean, his hand is... I mean, this dude with the Hamburg avatar could be the mark of the game. This tough one. I mean, calling and raising both seem fine. I don't expect to bluff that often. Maybe from 8-8 or 7-7, which you get to fold, and which are ahead, to be honest. But other than that, I mean, other than that, you'd also have no pair, which would help your hand quite a lot. So I say, when people donk here, they often don't want to fold, so calling seems like the way to go. But yeah, raising also makes the hand way easier to play. But yeah, I think calling is what I would have done. But it's close. And he raises. And they just get it in. Yeah, after raising, he is committed. And it's quite close. And straight on the first. Yeah, we split it. Queen coming for the raise. Probably fine, although quite disconnected. 3-bet probably okay-ish. As connected and double paired. This looks like an action flop. Because, yeah, Jack, Jack, 10, 10 probably assume that they have a lot more outs than they actually got. Should the queens just raise? I think so, because, yeah, the other guy just said, I'm committed, I'm not folding anymore. And if you have the nuts, that's what you want. Yeah, splitting. Very unlucky for the queens. Looks like a standard open, standard 3-bet. Like the check back on the flop. Ugh, would hate this spot. Oh, well, but he has a gut shot and an overpair, and he could utilize his blocker once hearts hit on the river, so calling seemed fine to me. And yeah, gragik, an absolute monster hand, and on the river, he probably now assumes that he has showdown value, and it's probably going check check, and the aces win. If it's an open, if it's a very close one, goes for it anyways. Aces probably will 3-bet. And yeah, it's getting called. Ooh. That. So the aces now are very happy and want to get it in. Riva, yeah. Qucumba. Qucumba's hand is not that great. I would love a check from the aces here, because this is not hitting his range very often, and his opponent might make costly mistakes. But instead he bets very small, trying to induce something. But yeah, rightfully, I mean, ace 10 3 4 is not falling for it, just calling. That's what I would have done as well. And yeah, now, yeah, complete equity change, as ace 4 now has a wheel. And yeah, the aces are probably not able to get away. What's the bet size is the question. I think if you bluff, you probably want to... Oh. I mean, this V6 size is very awkward, because you don't have decent money left on the river, no matter what you bet. But if you ever bluff here, you probably don't want to go for full pot. So the sizing is a very in question, a very important question here. What should he go for? Something like half pot, I think. Yeah, that's what he does, a bit more. And yeah, the aces still get it in. I mean, can't blame him, because he has 2-pair and a flush draw as well. And he can't get there. That's a loose open, probably still okay. And yeah, he gets 3-bet. I think this 3-bet is a bit too loose. And yeah, I think the check actually looks okay-ish. The question is check call or check raise. I think check calling is fine. And yeah, that's what he does. And now he will check call again. Top pair, flush draw. Looks good to me. And yeah, his opponent actually sucked out, having the straight now with a redraw to a better straight. Ugh, yeah, on the river you have to make the crying call. You have to assume that you are ahead most of the time. I mean, I would actually be happy clicking call, but yeah, he will soon get the bad news. Yeah, unlucky, but he played it great, I think. This call seems very bad. Yeah, you shouldn't get involved in the first place. And he banks a flop, but gragik banks it even harder. What should happen here? I think gragik should bet, as this is an okay flop for his range, and with aces you often want to get a lot of money in here and don't want to give your opponent a chance to draw for cheap. But he goes for the tricky trappy line. I mean, in this case it's completely irrelevant what he does because they probably get it in anyways. But I think range-wise, this is a bet and not a check. He wins them both, but he also was a huge favorite. Bet and raise. So what do we got here? Nut flush draw. With a gut shot against the pair. And rep. That's quite risky, raising with this type of hand. And he gets punished. Although this is also... Yeah, although it's not that ambitious to come back over the top with this hand. And yeah, now he probably hates life, but feels like he can't fold. And that's probably correct. Wow, he continues small on the 8. I guess getting that good of a price, you can't fold with your rep and the pair. And that's what he does. He calls, and now he has to call again because he just made a straight. I also wonder what gragik is doing here. Is he actually betting for value, or is he turning his hand into a bluff? What is he doing? I mean, he has the worst possible straight and goes for value. I assume, not sure what this is all about. I mean, he could get caught by an 8. I think he's going for value, but that's quite an ambitious bet. Aces go for the 3-bet. The cold call is terrible. Yeah, the ace is trapping here. I think I don't like it. I mean, there are a lot of things out there that your opponents could continue with, but will happily take a free card. So I would have bet, but yeah. He is LINUSLLove and the GTO master. And yeah, with 2 pair and a flush draw, you maybe have too much of board coverage in order to bet it all the time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably, after rethinking it, it's probably good play to check here. Yeah, now with full house, he should check again, in my eyes. But he starts betting small, gets raised. That's interesting. Re-raising is actually looking way too strong, right? He should call. This is way more in line with what he did before. And yeah, that's what he does. And gets very unlucky. I mean, he played the hand great, but got sucked out on the river. This 3-bet looks a bit loose, but might be okay still. I mean, fresh O probably is way too loose, so against a guy like this, it should be fine. Full pot. Okay, he wants to commit himself. God, that's tough. But given the stack size and that his opponent raised from the button with a very huge range, this should be fine. Although I hate the spot. But yeah, should be fine. Yeah, unlucky for pawn to tilt. 6-6-5-2 is also on the loser side. Open. Also think that his sizing is too small. And gets a 3-bet, calls. Hits a very good flop again. Will probably start betting. Should go a bit bigger in my eyes. Should bet again. And now he goes bigger. Wow. This is... Yeah, this is something. This... We also 150 BB deeps. This seems... Don't like it. I mean, I don't like the... How gragik played this. And he deserves to lose both of them. I would just have called the turn. Raise it a call. Nuts versus a blocker. Blocker turn, call turn, because open ender, blocking the straight and having a flush draw. And what happens on the river now? It's LINUSLLove doing the very desperate rebluff with almost nothing left. Yes, he does. And gets called, obviously. This guy very much can have a bluff in every situation. 3-bet, probably okay-ish. This time we will get a 4-bet. And yeah, very good flop again for, what was its name? Fresh. So the money will go in, and you can't blame the aces getting it in with pot to stack ratio of about 1. Yeah, Linus seems to get quite unlucky in this game. Well, that's a great looking hand. Probably a 3-bet. Checks the flop. Yeah, this deep makes a lot of sense with top pair and 2 backdoor flush draws. And not the best card for him, but at least he picked up a flush draw. He might go for the check call again. Ugh. That's... I mean, this feels very dirty. And the button is way more likely to have something big here than Fresh is. I mean, he could... I mean, he's... I mean, yeah, you probably have to call, but I hate these situations. And now he bets out small. Interesting one. Looks like a credible bluff to me. I think he probably... Should he go a bit bigger? Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. Gets called. And he's not good. Yeah, that's why I said he probably should go a bit bigger. But even then, his opponent might do the hero move. I mean, I liked his line, but yeah, big one. This is also a tough call to make. And yeah, depending on the odds, he might also fold some of the time, but this time the odds were just too good. For half pot, he might have found a fold. Maybe, yeah. Hard to say. Yeah, I like how he both played so far. Yeah, Born to Tilt probably calls again, thinking that he might be ahead. Or at least has outs. He's bluffing now. Is he trying to fold out a queen? Or fold out like 10 jack? I mean, if you want to have bluffs in almost all situations, this is an okay candidate to do it with. I think calling also would be fine. It's calls, and on the river, he has the ultimate blockers with a 7 king and an ace, and decides to go for it again. And seems like Linus actually makes this very risky call with trips. This is I mean, I probably wouldn't have the balls to call again on the river, or call on the turn even. I mean, on the turn, he could be drawing dead. And I don't find people bluffing that often in these kind of spots. But yeah, this is also quite high limit, and I think these want to tilt's also a reg, so you might be correct doing this, but this is something that requires huge balls. Yeah, and balls of seal get rewarded in this case. I think the small blind should not get involved at any point. I mean, he probably has to call getting these odds once he called the raise, but he should not call the raise, I think. He sent without an ace high flush draw, deep out of position just sucks. What the fuck? He leads this board? Seems retarded to me. And yeah, Born to Tilt probably is continuing to tell his story, but he has just aces. I mean, he actually got lucky and has a jack too, but he says, okay, with my aces, I just see another card and maybe fold the turn. So great play by him. The board is also super dry, so he has nothing to fear at all. And he continues to tell the story of having aces or kings. Give me a second. I have to check this call. Okay, back. I think we also got a comment. So, although, looked like we got a comment on the other one. Let's see that. What's the highest PLO games you played or have played? The highest game I ever played in was 501k. So the maximum possible stakes. Yeah, I mean, if he continues to slow play here, he has to assume that his opponent might bluff at some point. And he might give him the chance to suck out with like 2 outs, 4 outs and shit. But yeah, I can't. I think it's okay-ish to check again. And yeah, he actually extracted most possible value from nothing. So, well done, sir. Oh, good old Stickman is in the game too. I think also you could have figured out what the highest PLO stakes are if you read the description of my channel, or I think or watched the welcome video or however it's called on YouTube. Okay, let's see. One more hand, I said. Yeah, standard raise. 3-bet is yeah, probably okay-ish. Oh, Stickman in trouble. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but this, given the stack sizes, it's probably okay. And yeah, he will have almost no equity. Ben86, by the way, always to lose, doing quite risky stuff all the time. At least as I played against him. Not sure if he's has improved by now. But he's one of the biggest winners, so he seems to get away with it. Yes, this was not interesting at all. Let's do one more hand. Okay. The raise seems standard. The re-raise is standard for sure. And we see call. Oh, this seems to be a cooler. Fresh. Yeah, Fresh is just getting it in. Can't blame him. Would also be okay if Fresh would call the flop just. But yeah. Fresh can't get there in the first one, but gets there in the second one. So splitting the pot. Okay, let's do one more. And raise from the aces. Hmm. 5-5-8-8 might be a fold. Really. I mean, if he had folded, he would probably save himself a lot of money in this spot. Ooh. That's an interesting spot. Deuce 4 has a beat, but Deuce 4 is quite unlikely. And yeah, against another set, or a set with a flush draw or something, he's crushing. Or like 4-6. I mean, given that another guy is in the pot, he probably re-raising seems fine to push one guy out. Might have a lot of equity with some sort of draw. Yeah, Stigma now going to get it in very bad again. I mean, this was also always the case when I played against him, but he seems to get lucky all the time. But this time it's very hard to get lucky because he has only one out. Does not manage to get lucky. Okay, let's do one more and then we are quitting for today. The open seems okay-ish. The call as well. Yeah, calling the flop for sure. Also getting a great price. Now it's getting checked down, I guess. Nope. What? This is quite an ambitious bluff. Not many people pull that off. I think it's okay-ish, so it's unlikely that your opponent has jacks. And it's a very hard call for kings, queens, aces and stuff. But jacks are second nuts and will not fold, I think. Yeah, okay. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We didn't finish it until the end, but yeah, 3 minutes only left, so that should be okay. I really got to go. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, follow me on Twitch. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow, click the bell notification. And yeah, also feel free to put in some comments. And yeah, also definitely share this with your friends who also want to learn PLO. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye until next time.